Look, you've felt this your whole life, haven't you? This rumbling beneath your skin. This thing telling you that the path everyone else follows, working 9 to 5, a white picket fence house, small talk, a quiet life, isn't right for you. You try to fit in. Just type 888 in the comments, subscribe, and get started. We've all tried it. You straightened your hair, dimmed your light, joined things you didn't believe in, just so the people around you wouldn't look at you like you were an alien. But it never worked. They could always sense it. That energy, that strange magnetic pull, that's what made you a target. That's what fueled their jealousy. That's why they tried to eliminate you. Not because they were bad, but because you represented the end of their entire world order. And over the next 35 minutes, we'll peel back those layers one by one. We'll discuss why being the chosen one is a threat rather than a gift, why your existence is a wrecking ball to the status quo, and why you eventually stopped fighting the crown and started wearing it. This is about what it means that greatness has been waiting for centuries for someone like you to emerge. The biggest problem you face isn't an external villain. It's the internal pressure to fail. Think about it. All the greats, the people who actually shifted the world, the ones we read about in history books, they weren't just talented. They had to deal with an insane amount of resistance. And I'm talking about resistance that goes beyond just haters. This is structural. This is the entire system trying to cough you up and spit you out. Imagine a kingdom, a king and queen who have ruled for generations. Their power comes from tradition, from keeping things predictable, from everyone knowing their place. Now, imagine their child, the crown prince or princess, suddenly wakes up and says, "Yeah, I'm not doing any of this. The old ways are trash. We're going to tear down the palace and build a school." That kid isn't just a rebel. They are the end of the dynasty. They are a threat to every royal cousin, every minister, every guard, and every servant who depends on the old structure for their paycheck and their status. You are that kid. You are the one who woke up. The royal bloodline I'm talking about isn't actual monarchy. It's the bloodline of mediocrity, the lineage of small thinking, the tradition of just settling for whatever is handed to you. It's a silent agreement everyone around you has made. Don't rock the boat. Your parents, your co-workers, your friend group, the neighborhood gossip, they all share this unspoken agreement. They've found a way to be comfortable within the boat. It might be leaky, it might be boring, but it's predictable. And then you show up, this singular force, with a light so bright it exposes all the leaks and all the hypocrisy. Your success, your ambition, your pure refusal to shrink yourself down. It makes their entire life decision look suspect. If you can achieve what you're achieving, then why couldn't they? And that's a question they do not want to answer. So, the challenge isn't achieving the great thing. The challenge is surviving the relentless, subtle, day-to-day war waged against your spirit by the people who desperately want to drag you back to their level, because if you rise, they have no excuse left. They're afraid because they know that the bloodline of smallness ends with you, and they are trying everything they can to convince you to keep the tradition alive. They need you to fail so their comfort is preserved. We need to recognize this war is happening and understand the tactics they use. It's not a single attack. It's a siege that never stops, constantly wearing down your resolve with little digs and discouraging words, masquerading as advice or concern. This deep psychological warfare is the foundation of the chosen one struggle. It's the constant drip of doubt designed to erode your confidence until you start questioning the very legitimacy of your own dreams. Let's talk about the specific ways this war plays out, because once you name the tactics, they lose their power over you. We need to identify the 3 key fronts in this spiritual battle and how you're constantly being tested by people who fear your potential. We will dive deep into each one, examining the subtle mechanisms at work to keep you trapped in the old bloodline's narrative. This is the most common and the most subtle tactic. These are the people who constantly subtract from your energy and time. They never add anything. They are the friends who only call when they have drama, never when you have a win. They are the family members who only bring up your past failures, never your current progress. They are the emotional vampires who need your light just to feel warm themselves, and they will keep tapping into your source until you are running on empty. This is not just about spending time. It's about the quality of the interaction, The consistent negativity that acts like a psychological anchor, dragging you down just as you are trying to lift off. Imagine you have a powerful battery. That's your motivation, your creativity, your drive. These people are like tiny, persistent electrical shorts. They don't blow a fuse. They just slowly, steadily drain the power until you look up and realize you have nothing left for your actual goals. They are masters of the emotional crisis, always needing urgent, immediate attention for issues that, frankly, they created and refuse to solve. Your role in their life is not friend or family. It is emotional first responder, a role that keeps you too busy managing their crisis to ever tackle your ascent. They use phrases that sound like love or care, but are actually designed to anchor you. Things like, "Are you sure that's wise?" It sounds so risky. Most people who try that end up failing. Translation: stay where you are. It's safer for me if you fail, or better yet, never try. Your risk highlights my stagnation. Oh, that's just a phase you're going through. Remember when you were really into that other thing last year. Translation: I refuse to acknowledge this as real growth or a permanent change. I need to believe you will revert back to the controllable version of yourself. Don't work too hard. Remember what happened last time? You burned out, didn't you? Maybe just take it easy for a while. Translation: I need you to remember you failed before, so you don't try again. Your rest preserves the gap between us. They also deploy the weapon of constant, low-grade criticism veiled as humor. Oh, look at Mr. Big Shot working late again. Gotta make that money, huh? This is a joke. It's a subtle mockery designed to make you feel foolish or overly serious about your goals. It pressures you to lighten up, to join in the triviality, which is exactly where their power lies. This is a malicious, dark villain behavior. Often, it's the deep primal fear of change. Their subtraction strategy works because they make you feel guilty for having boundaries. You feel obligated to listen to their drama, obligated to take their advice, obligated to justify why you're doing something different. They are masters of using emotional obligation as a chain. By the time you've dealt with their needs, your day is gone. Your creative fire is just embers, and the work you needed to do, the work that separates you from the bloodline of smallness, is left undone. You've been drained by design, not by accident. This pattern, repeated daily, can sabotage years of progress simply by eroding your will to act. The accumulated debt of these small energy thefts eventually paralyzes you. To win this front, you must become ruthless with your time and energy. You have to treat your life like a fortress and guard the gates fiercely. This means saying no to things that don't align with your ascent. You need to implement a low-information diet regarding the draining people in your life. Don't share your biggest goals with them. Don't engage in their drama. If they call with a problem, offer a simple boundary-setting response. That sounds rough. I hope you figure out. And then quickly exit the conversation. And you will feel guilty at first. That's the conditioning trying to pull you back. But you must push through, because every no to a drain is a yes to your destiny. You must understand that protecting your energy is not selfish. It is the most selfless thing you can do, because your greatness is required by the world. You are protecting a resource, and that resource is your future. This is a tactic of getting you to put your powerful, unique light back into the box. This is where society, media, and peer pressure scream the loudest. Be normal. Normalization is the greatest enemy of the chosen one. It's the invisible net cast over everyone, designed to catch and suppress anything that dares to fly too high. The moment you start expressing your true, unedited self, the normalization forces hit back with a vengeance. Your ideas are too big. Your style is too eccentric. Your goals are too ambitious. Your voice is too strong. Your passion is too intense. Normalization is a process where they convince you that your best, most powerful qualities are actually flaws. They tell you to smooth out the edges, turn down the volume, and color inside the lines. If you're a natural leader, they call you bossy or controlling. If you're deeply sensitive and insightful, they call you overly emotional or dramatic. If you're creative and see the world differently, refusing standard pathways, they call you unfocused, impractical, or flaky. They take your unique gifts, the very things that prove you're the end of the bloodline of smallness, and label them as liabilities. They try to convince you that the things that make you powerful are the things that make you unacceptable. They attempt to turn your superpower into your shame. And the reason they do this is simple. Normal people are predictable and controllable. They are interchangeable components in the machine. A normal person buys the same things, watches the same shows, has the same fears, and votes the same way. A normal person is a perfect consumer, a perfect employee, and an easy-to-manage citizen. A normal person doesn't challenge the existing power structures or inspire others to question their own lives. They need you to stay normal because your sheer originality is a destabilizing force. It makes everyone else wonder, why am I doing what I'm doing? Is there more to life than this cubicle/gossip/debt cycle? When you see someone who is truly original, truly marching to their own beat, it forces you to confront the compromises you've made in your own life. You realize you traded your authenticity for ease, your power for acceptance. That's what they fear. You are the mirror they don't want to look into. The fear of being the only one is often less painful than the fear of having to confront the truth of their own unlived life. The normalization machine works over time to make sure you never reach escape velocity. The defense here is to embrace your weirdness. Write down the things people have criticized you for. Is it your intensity, your ability to see patterns, your need for silence, your passion for an obscure field? Chances are, those are the exact raw materials for your greatness. You have to consciously choose to value your unique traits over society's demands for conformity. You must decide that being a masterpiece is more important than being a photocopy. Normal is a prison, and you were born with the key. You have to use that key. Your power isn't in how well you fit in. It's in how brilliantly you stand out. The process of becoming the chosen one is fundamentally the process of denormalizing yourself, shedding all the conditioned behaviors and expectations that don't belong to your true self. This is where you find your authentic voice and your unstoppable momentum. The more they try to normalize you, the more fiercely you must cling to your unique identity. This tactic is designed to break your spirit when the others fail. When they can't drain you and they can't normalize you, they try to convince you that you are the only one, that your path is solitary, that no one understands you, and that the sheer effort of going alone is too much to bear. This is a tactic of attrition. They know that even the strongest spirit can break under the weight of utter solitude. This lie is powerful because your path is lonely at times. When you start living at a higher frequency, the old connections often drop away. The people you used to chill with don't get your new dedication. They get annoyed that you're working when they're partying. They resent that you're disciplined when they're letting themselves slide. They will actively misunderstand your discipline as arrogance, your focus as coldness, and your boundaries as rejection. And because of this, you do feel alone. The silence can be deafening, and that's when the self-doubt creeps in, whispering, maybe they're right. Maybe I should just go back. The system wants you to believe that this feeling of loneliness is a sign that you're wrong. They want you to think, if I was on the right path, wouldn't more people be with me? Wouldn't this be easier? But the exact opposite is true. The feeling of separation isn't proof that you're wrong. It's proof that you are ascending. Think of it like an altitude sickness. When you climb a mountain, the air gets thinner. The views are incredible, but you leave the crowds behind. The crowds are still down in the busy, smoggy valley, comfortable and complaining. They can't breathe at your altitude, and they sure aren't going to climb up to join you. The air is too thin for their small talk and their low-level energy. The lie of isolation is defeated by two things, community and compassion. First, you must actively seek out your new community. This is harder than it sounds. You need to find the people who are breathing the same thin air as you are, the people climbing their own mountains. These are your true allies. They will not drain you. They will inspire you. They won't normalize you. They will celebrate your weirdness. They will understand the way of the crown, because they wear one too. You must search for them in new places, in different spaces, online and off. The old friends are for the old you. The new friends are for the royalty you are becoming. This might mean joining groups, attending specific conferences, or simply reaching out to people online whose work you admire and who operate at a higher level. Your network must reflect your next level, not your current reality. Second, you need compassion for yourself and for the people you are leaving behind. They are not villains. They are just victims of the old bloodline. They are doing the best they can with the conditioning they have. They are comfortable being prisoners, and they fear the freedom you are discovering. Your job isn't to hate them or fight them. Your job is to transcend them. Wish them well. Set your boundaries and keep climbing. The isolation is temporary. The view from the summit is forever. This deep work of finding new connections is crucial to your long-term success, as relying solely on yourself in a world designed to resist you is a recipe for burnout. You need an energy exchange, a network like minds, to sustain the incredible effort required to break centuries of conditioning. It is the hardest part of the journey because it forces you to grieve the loss of your old life and the people in it. But this grieving process is what clears the path of the new, powerful connections you are meant to have. The true chosen one doesn't fight alone. They eventually find their tribe, not by looking backward, but by relentlessly moving forward. The overall exploration reveals that the fear they have isn't about you as a person. It's about the seismic shift your success represents. They fear the death of their old, comfortable world, and you are holding the shovel. That's why the resistance is so strong, so pervasive, and so personal. This isn't random bad luck. It's a systemic, predictable reaction to a threat to the status quo. And now that you know the rules of engagement, you can finally stop playing their game and start playing your own. You realize that every single attack, every subtle sabotage, every draining conversation is just confirmation that you are exactly where you're supposed to be, on the brink of ending their bloodline. This is the moment of truth. You've seen the tactics. You understand the fear. You have identified the subtractions, rejected the normalizations, and navigated the lie of isolation. Now, what do you do with the terrifying, beautiful knowledge that the royal bloodline ends with you? You stop negotiating with your greatness. The climax of this journey isn't a single battle. It's the moment you finally stop trying to make yourself palatable, acceptable, or understandable to the people who want you to fail. It's the moment you look at the people who are draining you, the ones trying to normalize you, the ones telling you you're alone, and you say, not with anger, but with absolute certainty and calm detachment, my path is non-negotiable. This is the moment of self-coronation. Think of the crown. It's heavy, right? It's not a light little hat you wear for fun. It represents responsibility, sacrifice, and the absolute burden of going first. The reason you have resisted your own power is that you knew the price. Being the chosen one means you have to be the first one to take the arrows. You have to be the one to break the generational curse of poverty, fear, small ambition, and settled dreams. You have to be the one to show everyone else what's possible, even if they throw stones at you the whole way up. The weight you feel isn't just external resistance. It's the weight of destiny, the pressure of fulfilling a promise made generations ago. The key moment is when you stop seeing the weight of the crown as a punishment and start seeing it as a privilege. It's a privilege because you're the culmination of every ancestor who ever dared to dream a little bigger, every soul who ever tried to escape the smallness but failed. You are the one who gets to finish the job. All their silent hopes, their whispered ambitions, their unrealized potential, all flows through you. You are the final, powerful result. You are the one who gets to rewrite the script for everyone who comes after you. You're not just building a legacy for yourself. You are building a safe path for your future lineage, a path free from the specific shackles that bound you. The climax is a simple, powerful, internal decision. I will no longer prioritize their comfort over my calling. This decision is a final act of severing the old bloodline. It is a declaration of independence. This decision instantly shifts your entire reality. The drains lose their grip because you stop answering the call of their chaos. You realize that your mission is too important to be stalled by someone else's manufactured emergency. Your silence is your strength. The pressure to be normal becomes noise because you finally embrace your own tune. You stop looking for validation in the eyes of people who don't understand your vision. Their criticism is simply proof that you are operating on a frequency they cannot tune into. The feeling of isolation fades because you realize that the most important connection you need is the one with your own uncompromised self. You become your own best company, your own strongest advocate, and your own highest authority. The moment you truly accept yourself, The need for external acceptance vanishes. You stop fighting them and start building you. That's the end of the old bloodline. The moment you refuse to pass on the torch of small thinking, the old dynasty collapses. The royal bloodline, the lineage of settling, has reached its end, and you are the glorious, disruptive, terrifying finale. Your job is not to fix them. Your job is to ascend. When you ascend, you create a new royal bloodline, one built on courage, authenticity, and relentless self-belief. That's the new lineage. And it starts right now with you. This final acceptance is what distinguishes the true leader from the perpetual victim. It's the moment of self-coronation where you understand that your external environment will always try to resist your rise, but your internal commitment is the only power that truly matters. This power is terrifying to those still stuck in the cycle of smallness because it's undeniable proof that they could be doing the same. The real power of the chosen one lies in the fact that their rise is not just personal success. It is a paradigm shift. When you succeed, you don't just get a better life. You create a blueprint. You open a door that was locked to everyone else in your circle, and they now have to live with the knowledge that the lock was internal, not external. That's the terrifying truth for them, and that is your ultimate victory. You have to step into that victory with a full understanding that the resistance will not end, but your capacity to ignore it will grow exponentially. Your power is no longer conditional on their approval. You are sovereign now. So, let's wrap this up simply. If you feel this constant, weird pushback in your life, if people are always trying to knock you down a peg, it's not because you're doing something wrong. It's because you're doing something so profoundly right that it threatens the stability of everyone who has chosen to stay small. The pressure is the cost of your potential. They don't hate you. They hate the mirror you hold up to their own compromises. They hate the fact that you are the proof that their excuses are just lies they tell themselves. The royal bloodline of mediocrity ends with you, the chosen one. You are the disruption. You are the new beginning. And now that you know this, you have two choices. But really, only one choice for a person like you. You can try to appease them, put the crown away, and spend the rest of your life living a lie to make everyone else comfortable. You can be the martyr of your own greatness. Or you can put the crown on, accept the weight, and go build the new world that is waiting for your leadership. You can become the sovereign you were born to be. Stop asking for permission to be great. Stop apologizing for your ambition. You have a job to do, and that job is to be the living, breathing proof that the old ways are obsolete. Your ascension is their destruction. Choose the ascent. Choose the crown. You were born for this moment. Your time to rule your own life is now. If this message resonated with the weight on your shoulders, hit the subscribe button.